Hey everybody, welcome back to my beauty channel. Today is the first video in a makeup collection series. I had a request from this subscriber right here to do an updated makeup collection, and since I do have quite a lot of makeup, it's kind of obscene really, I decided to break it down into separate videos so that you guys are not sitting and watching a 2-hour long video. I will preface this by saying I purchased everything myself, whether it was with my own money or with like gift cards for my birthdays or Christmases, or actually receiving like a palette or something for Christmas or my birthday. So let's go ahead and get started. This video is going to be all of my face products, so my bronzers, highlighters, and blushes. So if you would like to see what blushes, highlighters, bronzers that I have in my collection, stay tuned. So just to start out, this is how I have everything stored for my bronzers, highlighters, blushes in a 4-drawer dresser that I have in the room. If you're curious as to how I store it, that's how I store it. So let's go ahead and get started with highlighters. The first highlighter I have, you've seen me talk about. I think it was actually in a favorites video at one point, and it's the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. It says bronzer, but it's a highlighter in Reserve Your Cabana. I love this highlighter. First of all, the size of this thing is ridiculous, but it really is a nice soft powder. It has a little bit more yellow undertones to it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera. It has a little bit of yellow undertones, but it looks beautiful on the skin. If you're looking for, I think this was like $2. So if you're looking for a cheap like drugstore highlighter that doesn't really like sit on the skin but kind of melds into the skin and is a subtle highlight, this is going to be your go-to. So the next highlighter that I have is from MAC, and it is MAC's Soft and Gentle. I saw Kaylee Noel, or Forever Yours 0727, here on YouTube. She has a beauty channel, and she also has a channel with her boyfriend as well. She is beautiful and gorgeous, and they are hilarious. But she was talking about this in a favorites video, and I immediately went and bought it, and it is just stunning. It has a little bit more of a pinky undertone, more so than the Wet n Wild. It definitely has a little bit more shimmer. You can kind of see it right there to it, but I love it. That is usually, if I want something a little bit more glowy, I'm going to choose this one over the Wet n Wild, but if I want something a little more subtle, Wet n Wild. The last highlighter I have is the Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration in Champagne Pop. If you want the most intense, see your highlight from the heavens kind of highlight, this is going to be your go-to. It is stunning. I will say that out of all of these, this one, see, they're not even showing up. This one is by far the most intense, and I do love it. I love it a lot. And I want to say they might be making this permanent, because in my Sephora here in town, there's an actual spot for it now. So I don't know if they've made it permanent. I hope they do, because when that one goes, I'm going to be a sad puppy. But whenever I'm going out like on a date night where I'm really doing like dramatic makeup and I really just want that super intense glow, that is what I pick up. Okay, so the last like just single highlighter I have is the Benefit Watts Up highlight. I actually got this quite a while ago. See, that one shows up. Yes. For my birthday. It was the first like birthday perk that I got from Sephora, and it's still creamy. As you can see, it still gleams and glows. I do like this a lot. a lot. I may actually, once I use this up, I may actually go buy the full size of it because I really do like the idea of the cream highlighter. I'm going to move on slightly from highlighters into contour. You'll understand what I'm saying in just a second, to an actual contour kit. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in light, and oh my gosh, I use this thing every single day. You can tell which two shades are my favorite. This one, well, a mix of these two I use to set under my eyes and anywhere I put concealer. And then these two I usually bounce between for my contour. Sometimes I will add this darker shade in to just to add a little bit more bronzy bronze to my skin. But I tend to use this more as an eyeshadow. It's a beautiful crease shade, just so you know. And then this highlighter here, this is the shimmery highlighter. If you are into pinky highlighters, this is going to be your go-to. This palette, in and of itself, is just amazing. I actually almost picked up another one the other day when I was out shopping because of these two being hitting pan, but I'm gonna wait until like at least one more hits pan before I replenish. But this highlight, I actually have this one on today. It is the most beautiful like pinky toned highlight. So if you're into like the pinky tones more than like the goldish champagne-y colors, this is going to be your jam. So my only other bronzer that I really have right now, other than the Anastasia Contour Kit, is the Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer from Too Faced. The Chocolate Soleil Bronzer is by far probably one of the most famous bronzers ever, but the milk chocolate one is perfect for fair skinned folks. And as you can see, I love this one too. And it still smells like chocolate. I got this, I don't even know, but as you can see, I've given this one some love. I need to start getting back into using it, but then I got this, and this kind of fell to the wayside a little bit because this is just so easy. But I do love this one. I actually got like a little like Christmas set with the regular chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I do like that too. What I basically would do is just put a little bit of the chocolate Soleil just kind of right here, and then just blend everything out with the milk chocolate, and it actually was beautiful as contour. And I highly recommend this one too if you're fair and you're just looking for like a light bronzer that's not going to be too in your face, but super blendable and super natural looking. It's not too orange. Okay, so on to blushes. So my first blush is from CoverGirl. I actually watched a tutorial with Allison Henry, and she used this blush. This smells like my teens. Oh my god. And it is the most beautiful, kind of dusty, not even dusty, but just kind of a really soft, like peachy pink shade. It smells like the old school CoverGirl makeup, and it just sends me right back into my teen years with that. Then I have one Revlon blush, which is called Wine with Everything. I got rid of a lot of my blushes because they were so old. But I kept this one because this was a fairly recent purchase. As you can tell, I'm hitting pan on that one too. It's just a beautiful bluey pink blush. And it's not going to really show up on my hand for a swatch. But anyways, I don't know if you can see that. But it's just very subtle. It's one of my favorite blushes from Revlon. I'm not sure if they actually still make it anymore, because when I've gone to like gone to Walmart or whatever, I haven't seen it. They have a whole bunch of new colors, but I haven't seen that one. But it's beautiful. If you have it, or if you can find it, get it. It's awesome. Then I have some Milani blushes. I have Rose d'Oro, which was the first one that I ever picked up. It was actually sitting in the spot for Luminoso, and then I was like, that's not Luminoso, but I love the color. It's what I will wear a lot of times with nudes, or like more kind of like peachy nudes, or my like reds and stuff like that. Sometimes I will wear that with those. Then I have Delicio Pink, which I saw this color and my 80s heart just went fluttering. I mean, it is just the most bright, bluey, bubblegum pink of life, and it's gorgeous. I absolutely love this color. If I'm wearing like a lipstick that's similar to this, I have a couple of lipsticks which you will see eventually, and I will wear this blush with them. And these blushes are really good, and they're pretty inexpensive for drugstore blushes. And then I have Luminoso. I finally got my hands on Luminoso. It is like by far probably the most talked about shade on YouTube, but that's it there. It's just a beautiful peachy color. Love this for the summer. And then I also have this Bait bronzer that I sometimes will wear as a blush, but it's just, to me, it's just too shimmery for a bronzer. I like my bronzers to be matte, but it's kind of like if Rose Dioro, and that's it at the top, if Rose Dioro and Luminoso had a baby, it would be this. So it's good. So the next blushes that I have to show you are unfortunately no longer available, but they are from Sigma, and they are the Creme de Couture blushes that they came out with. They came out with a palette, eyeshadow palette, and they came out with these blushes. I got the whole set because Shay made me do it. So the first one is Strawberry Ambrosia, which is just kind of a candy, cotton candy type pink. It is very, very, very light, and that's one thing with, especially with this shade, it's just so like almost neon, that in a pastel. I usually top another blush with this, like maybe the Delicio Pink from Milani, because it's just too light to wear on its own. And then this one is by far my favorite. This is Blackberry Essence, and again, it is kind of light, but it does show up a little bit more than the strawberry one. I have a matte blush that I'll show you in just a little bit that I love to mix with that, and it just looks bomb.com. And then the last one is Cherry Apple, which is a very red, like a reddish color, but this one is really nice too. This is my second favorite. I was just drawn to the purple. So these are actually very good. They're very soft, and they do blend very nicely. I just wish that with the strawberry one, it was a little bit more, there was a little bit more oomph to it, but I digress. So the next one I guess I will do is this e.l.f. blush palette. I bought this, I'm sure I heard somebody talk about it. This is the light blush palette. This is more like a bronzer shade, as you can tell, but you can use a very light hand with it, and it could easily be a blush as well. Then there's this bright pink one, which is there, and then kind of more of a like a true pink there, and then more of a like rosy blush here. And I love these. They are super soft. I think the last one, the kind of more rosy one, is the only one that has any kind of shimmer to it, which is nice because, I don't know, I guess because of my age, I just don't like a lot of shimmery blushes. It's nice that those are mostly mattes. They also have a dark version as well. Moving on, let's see, let's go to L'Oreal. I have just a few of their True Match blushes here. I have Baby Blossom, which you can see has been very loved by me. It's just the like kind of perfect, like barely there pink for when I'm doing like a super dramatic look and I don't want my blush to compete. Another one of my favorites is Tender Rose. As you can see, I've hit pan on that one too. This one would also look really nice with the Blackberry shade over it. I don't know if you can see the swatch right there. And then I have Precious Peach, which is kind of like a matte version of Luminoso from Milani. It's just this is super light peachy shade, which Milani would look really good topped over. And then I also have Innocent Flush, which is kind of a it's a peach, but there's a little bit of warmth to it. It's a neutral one. So Luminoso would look really good over that one too. So those are my L'Oreal blushes. I want to say this is Sonia Kashuk. And this is, I'm not even sure if this is even available anymore, but it was part of the Sahara Sunset collection. This was the blusher in Casablanca. And Nicole from Young Wild and Polish is to blame for this purchase because she used it in a tutorial and I fell in love with it and immediately had to go get it because it is beautiful and I wasn't disappointed. It is a beautiful blush. Beautiful for the summertime. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the higher end blushes. This one is Benefit's Rocketeur. I actually posted a picture of this on Twitter because when I actually hit pan on this, it actually was in the shape of a heart. One of those blushes that if you have like a dramatic eye look or dramatic lip, that it's not going to compete with it. It's just so stunning. And the second that I hit pan on this, I bought a backup. So I actually have a backup in my drawers of this blush as well because it's gorgeous. The other blush that I have that is probably by far my favorite and what I'm wearing today is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Exposed. Kathleen Lights is to blame for this one because I think she's to blame for the Benefit one too. But I saw her use this in a tutorial and just absolutely fell in love with it. It is like the perfect everyday blush. This is actually a new one that I actually started using today because my other one died. My other one, I had hit pan so much on it that it was just barely around the edges and I went to use it and all the edges crumbled up and went to the floor. So luckily I had this backup because I love this blush so much. I had a backup ready, but it is just the most gorgeous. It's more pink than the Benefit Rocketeur, as you can see. It's that same kind of everyday, it will go with anything, no matter what lip, no matter what eye makeup you do, it will go with it. If you need something a little more pink, go with the Tarte. If you need something a little bit more on the peachier side, go with the Benefit Rocketeur. And then the last blushes I have 3, and they're from MAC. I am just kind of dipping my toes into other stuff from MAC. I absolutely adore their lipsticks. So I just started kind of playing around with their blushes. So the first one I ever purchased was MAC's Margin. This is the most beautiful shade. It's kind of similar to Rockateur actually, but just a little bit more golden, a little bit more peach, and a lot of shimmer. I actually wore this the other day to work, and I was passing by one of our mirrors at work, and the sun was coming in from our windows, and I had glitter just like everywhere. It is a very glittery blush, but it doesn't, when you're wearing it and you're looking at it in normal light, you don't see any of the glitter. It's only when like sunlight hits it and you just sparkle like a disco ball. But I love the shade. Love it, love it, love it. If you don't want the sparkle, if you don't like any of the sparkle in your blushes, MAC's Melba is the exact same shade as this, but matte. So if you don't want the shimmer, go get Melba. If you like the shimmer, get Margin. The next blush that I purchased, and is one of my favorites by far, is MAC's Breath of Plum. This is the MAC blush that I was telling you that I usually put the Sigma Blackberry Essence over. Even though it looks really scary and really purple in the pan, it really is not that purple. It actually comes out a little bit more berry on the skin than it does actual purple, but it's good. I like it. It's a matte, so you don't have to worry about any shimmer. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blush to wear with like cool toned pinks or kind of lavenderish shades of lipstick. So pretty. And the very last blush that I have, I actually just picked up probably about a month ago. Well, not a month ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago. I don't remember who had mentioned this. I was just watching a lot of like makeup videos, and somebody mentioned this in their favorites. By the way, the MAC Margin was totally Jaclyn Hill's fault. Anyways, I was watching a video and somebody mentioned MAC's Copper Tone, and they did a swatch and everything, and it was so pretty, and I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Now, to me, it looks more like a bronzer than blush, but it actually is really, really pretty. Now, I will say this one is high pigment. High pigment. So, use a very, very light hand if you are super pale like me. Use a very light hand with this because it can get out of control really fast. But it is beautiful. I think this is going to be a really beautiful color in the fall with like the kind of browns and like burnt orangey type shades of lipstick and stuff. Yeah, that's going to be bomb. So that is everything in my highlighting, bronzing, blush collection. I will be putting up videos of all of my eye palettes. Then I will do all of my lipstick collection, but I will do swatches on the lips for those. So, but I will do those in brands. So like all of my MAC, all of my L'Oreal, all of my Maybelline, all that kind of stuff. Look forward to those videos. If you like this series and like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Also, if you cannot get enough of this face, all of the links to all of my social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, blog, Snapchat, all of that is down in the description box below for you as always. And I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.